Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to G&G Nation. Well, if you're new here, I'm Anna.
I'm Caitlin.
So today we're going to be talking about the first time we met. And we briefly talked about it, like, on the first video. We just said we met in high school, but we never really talked about, like, what happened and how we became, like, best friends.
How we are today.
Yeah. So, I'm excited to go back into that. We always talk about it, but we haven't talked about it, like...
On camera.
Yeah, on camera. And
going down memory lane.
we really are back into high school.
Oh, great.
So, it was, what, like 5 years ago?
Yeah. No.
6? Damn, how long have we been out of high school?
6 years ago.
So, it was 6 years ago. And we met in geography. World Geography is the class that we met in. And we had class in the very back. It was far. Our high school was like an outside campus. And the class we had was in a trailer.
A portable.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they call it, the portables.
Yeah. And it was like right next to the parking lot. So it was pretty far from the whole campus. Yeah, like we had to cross the parking lot to actually even get to the school.
Yeah.
So it wasn't right away, but it was freshman year. It was freshman year, and it was within like what, a couple months before. Was it first or second semester?
It was first, because I remember, because it was like we still had that class during December.
Oh yeah, okay. So it was definitely first semester, and then
I think it was like a couple like weeks or so like after our birthdays.
Yeah, because we didn't celebrate our first birthday together.
Aww. That's sad.
It was really sad because we didn't find out till later.
Yeah.
And okay, so the way everything was set up, let me just give you a quick little like glimpse of it. So
like, let me draw you a little picture.
Yeah, let me just do it real quick. There's desks on this side, and then there's other desks on this side, and they're facing like each other.
Yeah.
So that there's like a little room in the middle
like,
for the teacher can
yeah.
like lecture and everything. So Caitlin was actually friends with another person at the time, and they sat on that side, and
yeah.
I sat at the very end on this side. So by the way, I didn't know who she was. She didn't know who I was. The
only person I knew was my cousin.
Yeah, because she had her cousin in that class. But other than that, like, I didn't even really have friends in that class, or even during freshman year. I mean, it was a new school. My middle school friends. We had kind of like just went our separate ways. So I didn't know anyone that much, and we ended up getting.
It was like when she like, you know how they do like the assigned seats.
Yeah.
She like reassigned our seats.
Yeah,
so
she reassigned our seats.
They moved
and
me and like my mutual
we're both
friend.
G's.
Yeah.
Our last names. So yeah, so she sat in front of me, or behind me. I sat in front of you. Right? Yeah. Yeah, because literally it was what, 3 desks in each row. So someone in front of me, then it was me, and then it was Caitlin, and it was on the last row. Mm-hmm. But we didn't talk yet. Then I think we talked when we had to do a project together.
Because then we moved. We like from where we were sitting, we moved to like one side. You know how they had like their little sections. We all moved to this one side, like right where the teacher was.
I remember it was like a family tree project or something like that, right? Or what was it?
It was something like, well, she gave us a topic to like. It was kind of like a 2-parter. Like the first part of it was like this was the group project, and then the second part was like when we had to do something about our family tree.
Yeah, because I remember you.
I did on my uncle.
Yeah, you talked about your family member. And so then, we had to do a project, and literally it was only a group of 3 or 4. And everyone kind of knew each other. Other people kind of were already friends. And so everyone kind of already got into their own groups. And Caitlin and her other friend, it was just 2. So then they were like, do you want to be a part of our group? And I said, well, yeah, I guess I'm the loser here. So yes, I guess I'll be part of that group. And I said, hi, I'm Anna.
You knew, like, the mutual friend.
We'll give her a name for the...
We'll call her Patty.
Okay, Patty.
Patty's a mutual friend.
Yeah, Patty's her friend.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah, you knew Patty a little bit.
Yeah, very little, because I had her for another
because
class.
that's how she introduced me. She's like, oh, yeah, this is Anna. Anna, this is Caitlin.
And I was kind of like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Yeah. And right away, we were talking about the whole family thing. And that's when we started talking about, like, when's your birthday?
Yeah, like we had... Well,
our birthday had already passed, by the way.
we were talking about like, because Halloween was coming up.
Yes.
Halloween was coming up, and we are talking about like.
By the way, we did not like do the project on the first day. Obviously,
No.
like the first day of projects, you don't do
you
anything.
don't do
You
anything.
just talk.
Yeah.
Or get to
We
know
didn't
each
do
other.
anything. So
Yeah.
we were just talking to each other. We were telling us like how so like how many siblings do you have, or like what's your family like, and you're like, oh well, Halloween's coming up. Like, what's your favorite like urban legend? Like urban legend. And like me, I said like we had said I was like, oh, do it at the same time, and we counted 3. We both said La Llorona.
Yeah, like.
So I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like I was like, twinsies. And then that's when we said like you had said like, oh well, when's your birthday? I was like, oh, it's in September. It already passed. And you're like,
and so did mine.
Yeah.
And then I asked her, well, like, what date? Because I thought, well, obviously we can't have the same birthday.
yeah.
So then she was like, September 2nd. And I was like, what year? And she was like, 97. And we're like, ah!
No way.
We're
like,
like, no, you're
I was like,
joking.
stop. Like, no, like, don't.
Yeah, we both like thought we were like fronting. We're like, no, you're
like,
just
don't lie.
joking.
You're
No.
like, no, like,
and then
straight up.
Patty was like, no, yeah, for real, that's her birthday. Like I was like, oh my god, like that's my birthday.
I was like, twins. Like, I have
yeah.
a twin.
I was like, oh my god. And then we asked each other like, were you born here or somewhere else? And they're like, no, we were born here. And we're like, oh my god, we pretty much were born in the same hospital at this like
Around
almost
the
the
same
same time, everything. And I was like, wow, like imagine how close we would have been like if we were like just already there.
I know. And it's because I remember like when we had first found out, we were like always kind of like bickering like, ooh, who's the older twin?
Because we didn't know.
We didn't know.
We didn't know yet. We didn't find out till like a couple years later. Because I had to locate my birth certificate.
Yeah, I was like, I need to find it. Like,
Yeah.
and we didn't really care as much like who was the
No,
older
we didn't
one.
really care.
But, like,
But it
later
was like those little like arguments that was like, oh, I'm the oldest, so I can do this, or no, you're the youngest, you can't.
Yeah,
do
you
that.
can't.
Yeah, but until finally one day we're like, okay, we need to settle this. Who's the oldest? Who's the youngest? And I'm actually the youngest by an hour.
By like an hour or so.
Yeah, but she's the oldest, so. It sucks, but no, I'm kidding. No, but it was pretty cool, and then we kind of just hit it off. I mean, we didn't really start hanging out yet. We only talked during that class, but we didn't really become best friends until like
later on in the year.
Yeah, because that was the only class I had her with. But other than that, we didn't like see each other like for lunch or breakfast.
Yeah, it's not like it's not even like that. Like I couldn't even text anyone because I was at the time I only had my iPod. Like
that
phone.
too. And no, and then like the whole thing too is like, you're a freshman, you still don't know which crowd you're gonna be in. You didn't know who were gonna be your true friends. And not that I was saying like Caitlin was gonna be a bad friend. It's just I still didn't know her very well. I didn't know like the group she was in, and I barely even had friends at the time because of middle school. It was just a very different transition. So it's like, where do I fit in too? And half the time, you know, I didn't really see Caitlin around, so it was like, well, what's the point?
That was literally the only class we had.
You know, like, yeah, that was the only class we had. And then finally, there was one day where I didn't have anyone to sit with at lunch, because the one friend that I guess I sat with at lunch at the time. By the way, I didn't remember this until a couple days ago that she reminded me, and then I remembered.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out like we were just
to
talking
record
about,
this video.
Yeah, we were talking about like who like the group that I sat with in general.
It's a pretty big group.
It was kind of like a big group. It was a group of friends that I had.
Like when she told me a group of friends, I thought, oh, maybe like 3 or 4 of them. No, there was like 10. There was almost like 12.
10
I'm
people.
like, oh my god.
Well, because it was like 3 or 4 girls. And
Yeah.
that's it. Most of the others were like guys, like
dudes,
people that we knew from like middle school.
And they were all so sweet and nice, but
yeah, it was so funny because like whenever we left class, we would just
that's true.
Just, like,
before we actually like ate lunch together, I would go this way, and then to get to like the cafeteria, you'd have to pass the parking lot.
Yeah.
So I would go this way to meet that one friend that I sat with for lunch. So
then,
we just split. We'd be like, all right,
me
bye.
and Patty would go this way through the orchestra because that's where we would meet our friends.
Yeah.
And then, well, that was it.
And then I never saw her again until the following day.
Yeah, we had class again.
Yeah, but then there was this one day where my friend didn't show up. She was like sick for like the entire week, and by like the middle of the week, they asked me like, "Oh, who are you gonna sit lunch with?" I was like, honestly, by myself, you know, because my friend's not around. And then she was like, "Well, you or Patty, I don't remember who, we're like you can come sit with with us, with our friends." And honestly, I was kind of shy. I mean, because it's one thing for them to hang out with their friends because it's a group already, and then to have like a random person come into this whole group. It's like, it's not only like I'm shy, but it's also a lot. You're not just meeting 1, 2, 3
like
people.
Intimidating.
Yeah, you're meeting this whole group of people, not even knowing if they're gonna like you, not knowing if they're gonna accept you, not knowing if they're gonna even like want to be your friend. They're probably just gonna think you're weird, and then they're not gonna want to ever sit with you again. And that's the thing that sucks about high school, is like, again, you don't know where your clique is yet. So I was really shy and I was really intimidated when I first showed up, because I thought when we first got there was only like 3, 4 people, and then when the bell rang, more just started swarming. I thought, man, like half of the freshman class is here. Like, what just happened? And it was very intimidating, but everyone was so nice. They were like, hi, I'm so and so, and I was like, I'm Anna, and then Caitlin and Patty were pretty much the only ones that introduced me to everybody, but everyone was so nice. But that's pretty much like, and then like eventually, like, obviously throughout high school, people tend to stop talking to other people from middle school, so they kind of find their own little cliques eventually, because once you're in high school, that's when you try to find out who you are, and where you're really meant to be, I guess, with people. But I didn't have any of that, and I didn't really have like other friends or cliques or anything else. So throughout the entire time of high school, I spent it with Caitlin, and all those years we became closer. We talked a lot more. We talked about things that I don't think I'd ever share with anybody else, and that's pretty much like how we actually became friends, because, you know, I never thought I'd be friends with the other girl on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
You know,
I had my twin in the same class.
In the same city.
I know.
So that was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool, because then, like, when we started getting closer, like, we're just really like she's gonna be with me for a very long time. And then people were already saying, like, oh my god, like, you guys are like actually kind of like look alike. Like,
a lot of people were like, man, you guys look alike. You guys are like really like.
You guys look like almost like actual twins.
Yeah,
I was like,
you guys are so like compatible with each other. But that was really cool, because when all of our other friends from the group started like slowly drifting off, it's like we were still there for each other.
Yeah, it was really cool to see how, you know, it's cool and kind of like, not in a way like super sad, but it's just, you know, it's just kind of like the way of life, you know, and it's just like people just drift apart, people move on, like people grow apart from each other, and it's something that I didn't know at the time, you know, because I was still young. Like, I was like, what's kind of like happening, and like in a way, like in the group that we were in, like, it was kind of like everyone was given like positions, and everyone kind of looked to me like as a mother, so it was kind of hard seeing like everyone like drift away, and it was like, I just want to do everything to piece everything back together. Like, I always try my hardest.
The biggest thing about Caitlin is that she's very selfless, and that's something I didn't really like about in high school. We didn't argue about it, but we did talk about it a lot, because she, like she said, like, they always saw her as like the person that keeps the group together, and I thought that was really tough, just because she's trying to get through her own life through high school. She's trying to get through classes just like anybody else. She has choir to think about. You know, she was in other, you know, activities. You know, she's also a teenager. She's trying to figure her own self out. And then to be dealing with people that are constantly bickering or constantly having like drama or leaving for whatever reason. And she was still trying to have them like, no, it's a group. Come on, like, we're family. I always had to like remind Caitlin, like, I get that you're trying to be like that person that wants to help everybody out. I get that you want to keep the group together. I get that you want this thing to be like a whole. But you can't control everyone. You can't be that person that constantly has to fix everything when it's not fixable, you know? You can't fix something that's not broken, and you can't replace it either. It's like, just try to move on from it. Just try to think about the memories that we did have with these people. Or mostly you, because I mean, I was still new to the group. But I constantly just told her, like, you don't have to feel like that you have the need to constantly, you know, have to, like, keep them together. You know, if they want to not be in the group, or if they want to move on or whatever, then that's their choice, you know. If for any reason they want to come back to the group, you know, we're open to it.
Open arms. And like, through all of that, like, though people were drifting, it was kind of in a way like me and Anna just were like, it was kind of like opening gates for meeting you and get closer, because it's like you said, like, we talked about things that like were sort of serious, you know, like I talked to you a lot about like my problems, like,
because as sad as it was, like, when Caitlin had like stuff to talk about, those friends at the time that she thought she could count on, slowly we're drifting off. And that's not bad. We're not saying like, oh, we hate them now, because we don't. No. We're actually still pretty cool with half of them.
Yeah.
But it's like, they obviously were going through their own stuff, and like, I felt like I had to be there for Caitlin because no one else was.
Yeah, it was kind of like they were dealing with their own problems, and I've always been the way, like, they're dealing with their own problems. Like, I don't want to bother them with my own problems. So, yeah. But Anna was like always just like there, like, you know, like, I don't care, like, if I'm going through something, like, if you're going through something, like, I'm gonna be there to help you. And
I've always told her, like, if I'm in the hospital and you need to talk, I will talk, dude. Like, I will talk to you. Like,
typing, like,
I know, like, no, I will always be there for you. Like, that's something that I always told her. And at first, like, I feel like it wasn't so much like, not that it wasn't true, but we were both like still new to like to the friendship. So it was like, you know, how much can I be open with her, and how much can I tell her that it's not gonna like scare her or like have her like drift off from me or whatever. But eventually we both opened that door to each other where it's like, we can literally talk about anything now.
Yeah, which was something that was so completely weird for me, because I'm someone who is so closed off.
Yeah,
and everyone knows this about me. Like, when I meet new people, I'm literally the most shyest person you will ever meet. Like, I'm so mute, and that's one of the things I really don't like about myself.
Because people think that she's being like, she's being like mean, like she doesn't want to talk to them, like she's too good for them. Like, that's not even the case. It's just simply that she's shy and she doesn't know how to start a conversation. She's just like, where do I go from here? You know, hi, hello. Okay,
how do I start a conversation? Like, how do I keep them entertained? Like, how much will I know this person? How much does this person want to know about me? So it was very difficult trying to meet new people, just because the way I always was. But like, it's like when I was talking to Anna about it and how we grew like over the years, it's like, it was so weird because it was just so comfortable to open up to Anna, which why it wasn't so hard at times. So that's why I felt so like warm. Like, there's just always like this warm like aura around Anna, which is like, I can always go to her. Like, she's always gonna be there for me. And I was like, that's why I knew like this is something that was like way beyond like what I loved my friends. Like, I still love my friends that I have now, but like, there was just something about Anna that was just like, I can go to her, like, I can trust her with anything. And like, she was really there for me a lot through high school. You know, there was a lot that I was going through, a lot with like my own like insecurities and like schoolwork, and like always trying to do my best. And then a lot of stuff was happening with choir over the past like my junior and senior year. So it was so hectic. And then, like I said, I was always in the position of like being the mother of the group, to where I was always trying to fix things, and then I'm worrying about, you know, my future in life and college, and then dealing with a lot more like choirness, and like if I'm gonna pursue music. There's just a lot going on like the last couple years of high school, and Anna was literally the one that was always there, you know. And what's cool about it too is like,
even when I wasn't in school, it's like when I had to talk, and I'm like, dude, go for it. Like, I always told her, I'm not gonna tell you to leave. I'm never gonna tell you like, I don't want to talk about this. This is too serious, or this is too emotional. And I always told her, it's like, as long as you're honest with, this is what I always told Caitlin. It's like, I will be there for you as long as you're honest with me, as long as you're gonna be there for me, and as long as you're just gonna be truthful. That's all I care about. It's just loyalty throughout this friendship. That's all I've asked for. I've never asked for her to lie to my face. I've never asked her to just like be dishonest or just like give me a cold shoulder for anything. I've always told her, it's like, I want you to be just as comfortable as I am with you to talk about anything. And that literally means anything, whether it comes to you or your personal life, or, you know, literally anything. If even like things that are maybe embarrassing to people, that may be like, I don't know if I should tell my friend about this. Like, maybe it's a little weird. Like, I've always told him, like, don't feel weird about it. That's the whole point. It's like, I want to be here for you. And I get that she was so selfless throughout like high school, which kind of got me mad, because I'm like, you should be selfish once in a while, you know? It's good to be selfless, and it's good to think of others, and it's good to help, and that's great. But, you know, I always told her, it's like, you can only do so much for these people when they're not even doing as much as they say they want to.
You were literally
they were hardly ever there, and that's what got me mad.
You had to like think about yourself. Like, you can't think about other people. Like, you have to think about your well-being, and that's what I took from that, and that's how. And that's kind of how like it shaped me.
And it would stress her out so much that she would cry. And it would bring me anger, because everyone, when she would start crying, everyone, and I'm not going to mention any names, but everyone or anyone would come up to her and give her a hug and tell her, it's okay, like, if you want to talk about it, I'm here. And then like the next day they weren't there to be found. And I'm kind of like, it would get me so mad, because Caitlin cried or was so stressed. She would be shaking, like having a panic attack during school. Like, something that shouldn't happen to a teenager, especially in that time, because you're already dealing with stuff. And then for people to be kind of like fake in front of you, even though you still care about them and giving them your all. Like, I would tell Caitlin, like, dude, stop, like, please, like, you're not only hurting like yourself physically, but mentally it's like it's not good for you. It's unhealthy.
Yeah.
And it was hard because I didn't want to see her like that, but I always told her, it's like, I'm always going to give it to you blunt. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. I've always told her, if I'm going to tell you something, I'm going to give it to you blunt. If you take it offensive, then obviously it's because it's true.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've always told her.
And I think that's what shaped me to the way I am now, because like obviously you've seen the way I've changed since like high school.
Oh yeah,
and
she's changed a lot.
And it's a lot for the better, and like I'm starting to see like, and that's why I'm so grateful for Anna for all that she did, because like I truthfully don't know how I would have been after high school if I didn't have that type of, you know, love and affection and blunt, like this is what needs to, like,
because
this
like
is what you need to hear.
In high school, like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but Caitlin was a little bit of a pushover. Like, she kind of let people walk on her.
Yeah.
All over her. And I told her, I'm like, you can't have that, because in the real world, when people do that, they're not going to apologize. They're not going to acknowledge it, and it's going to be worse. This is high school, and if you're letting that happen to you now, it's going to be way worse in the next 10, 12 years. And it was very different with me like that, because I was very like closed off as well with people, and that's something that I'm very grateful for Caitlin, because I know a lot more about love and compassion and opening my heart to other things and other people. You know, when I first met Caitlin, I didn't care to meet friends. I didn't care to really even hang out with a group of friends. I was kind of like, I don't want to say the word, but kind of like in the sense of like, oh, what's the point, you know?
Yeah.
But meeting Caitlin, she kind of gave me like, you know, it's okay to be out there with open arms. It's okay to, you know, show love more out there. It's okay to be a little bit, you know, selfless. And for a long time, I actually was very selfish, because, you know, I had gone through so much in middle school that I brought it to myself to high school. And that's how I got into a lot of stuff where I was like, I'm going to be selfish. I don't care. Like, I don't care about anybody else. But then when meeting Caitlin, it's like, okay, it's okay to be selfless. It's okay to learn how to cry. It's okay to learn how to be happy. It's okay to have all these things.
Learn how to like feel.
Basically, what Caitlin had, she had to bring it to me, and what I had to bring it to her.
Yeah. We added and subtracted.
Yeah. Math. Wow.
What I thought was cool is like, even through high school, like, it's like you said, like there was days like where you wouldn't sit with us, but that never changed anything with our friendship. No. And like that was, and we talked every day. I mean, we haven't stopped talking for more than like 32 hours or something like that, or 36. You know, like we've gotten like a day without talking, but then like the next day we're like, hey, what's up? Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Or like if we're not texting, we'll send like snaps,
or like funny pictures, or we'll tag each other on like Instagram or something.
Yeah.
But
like there's always that one sense of like contact.
Yeah, but we've never like stopped talking. We've never had a fight where we're just like, I'm done, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, no, because we've never been that type. Like, we've always told each other, like, dude, if you're in it, then I'm in it too, 100%. And if we get in a fight, then we're gonna talk it. We're gonna talk about it.
Sit down. We're gonna fix this.
Like, this isn't no thing like you fight and then you walk out and leave. Like, no. Like, I'm gonna lock the door if I have to keep you in. I'm gonna tie you down.
Like, here you go, tie me down.
Like, no.
Listen to what I have to say.
Yeah. So like, no, like that was something that I honestly just cherish about our friendship, is that, you know, we never walk out of it. And we're not gonna lie and say it's all been like rainbows and
no, I don't think any friendship is ever gonna be like that. Like, you can never.
We've had moments where we've bickered, where we had arguments. We've like had moments where we just get annoyed with each other. But it's like, at the end of the day, we both still love each other. We're still best friends. We've told each other almost everything that we could probably ever think of, and stuff that we shared that we probably would never ever share with anybody else. So I think that's really something that I'm always going to cherish, and something that I'm sure Kayla's going to cherish. Something that we always promised each other. It's like, no matter what, like, we're still best friends. No matter how uncomfortable a situation may get, or how weird, or how like just stupid an argument may be. Yeah, it's like, we're still best friends. Anything else to say, Kayla?
I think from now, I just can't wait to see where we're going from here.
I know. 6 years down,
forever to go.
6 years already?
Yeah.
Damn. We're old. Speak for yourself.
An hour, okay? An hour.
No, but 6 years, man. I can't wait till we're like 10 years of best friend, that we could say like, man, we really made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a decade. Alright, well, we hope you guys like this story time of ours. We hope you look forward to many more ahead of us. If you aren't already, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. Make sure you turn on your post notifications. That way you get notified every time we post. Make sure to leave a comment down below and let us know what else you'd like to see from our channel. And if you like the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. That really helps us a lot.
Yes, it does.
And we'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.